Welcome to the Douglas Home of Mind Show. I'm Georgia Henderson, your host. This show is all about city services and events as well as happenings in the community. And sometimes we even feature people of interest. So stay tuned to see what we have on the show today. We'll be back right after this Fitness Buzz break from Gina Gibbs.
Hi, I'm Gina. You're with Fitness Buzz with Douglas Coffee County Park and Recreation. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the parents and the children that were involved with Douglas Coffee County Park and Recreation camps. And also for our volunteers, if it wasn't for you, we just thank you throughout the years, the support that you have gave us. We'd like to thank Karen Merritt and a lot of our contract labor teachers and instructors because they add so much to our camp. So this is my thank you for summer 2015. But I did want to remind you there still are this week, which would be June 20th through the 22nd and some on the 24th. We are still offering a free sports basketball and soccer camp. You can call Gina at 383-7332. We'll hope they come back. This is 3 Points Ministry that's putting this on. We're so fortunate to have them come and be a part of our community. Also, our sewing camp. This was a new camp this year, Sewing for Girls. Still have a few slots for that. Also, Miss Lucy's camp, which is the Scribblers. It's an arts and craft camp. Still have a few available spaces at the south end of our art center. And also I get a lot of calls being with Parks and Recreation about fitness. If you're looking something for your mom or your aunt to do that they're probably not real active, we have a morning stretch and a moving easy chair class. Buzz, buzz, buzz. These are fitness classes for seniors. So again, if you're looking for something for mom to do, trust me, we have so got it in. This is for my Red Hatters. We are on the move. We will start in August doing some plays and things, so be looking for that email. If you're interested in Red Hat, call Gina at 912-383-7332. My water wigglers, we do have water aerobics, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm really not sure yet if the pool is going to be available in August. You will get a mail out, phone call, or an email, so be checking your email. So we will not be able to start our water aerobics in August. My summer wigglers had really fun at the city pool. Want to thank you again for your support. If you have any questions about arts and about fitness, if you would like to call Gina at 383-7332, email me at fitness@cityofdouglas. Be more than glad to make sure your family gets fit or up and moving and creative with the arts. I'm Gina. I'll see you next time.
We're back from break, and joining me on the show today is Misty Hayes. She is the election supervisor for Coffee County. Misty, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to see you here. And before we jump into the questions, if you would today, just share with everyone a little bit about your job and what you do and how long you've been with the county.
I have been with the county for 3 years now. January made 3 years. I was the assistant election supervisor under Miss Judy Foskey, and on June the 19th, she retired, went home.
Good for her.
She had a new grandbaby coming, and she went home to be with the grandbabies, and I was promoted on June the 22nd.
Mm-hmm. Now, as your role as assistant election supervisor, that has given you some experience with these elections.
Yes, ma'am. We've handled the general elections and the primaries, and we handle all the elections in Coffee County.
Well, great, great. Well, if you would, tell us what elections do we have coming up?
We have the municipal elections coming up for the city of Douglas and for the city of Broxton. So the qualifications for those two elections start on September the 2nd through the 4th, and they start at 9 a.m. at the elections office for the city of Broxton. Mm-hmm. And they end on Friday, September the 4th at 12 noon.
Okay. Now, someone wanted to qualify now. Could they in advance, or they have to wait to those 2 days?
They have to wait to those 2.5 days. If they're qualifying for the City of Douglas, they will go to the City Hall and qualify for those races.
Gotcha. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about them, because I know the City of Douglas municipal election is coming up, as you said. What are the qualifications for, we'll start with the mayor's office first, if someone wants to run for that office, what would they have, the qualifications?
Has to be a registered voter within the city limits of Douglas for 1 year prior to qualifying.
Okay, that's it?
That's it.
Okay, okay. And what about for the city commissioners?
The city commissioners have to, for City of Douglas,
Yes.
have to be a registered voter within the ward in which they are running for office.
Okay, now the qualifications the same for the, because you said the Broxton election is coming up as well, for the mayor's seat and councilman?
The mayor and the councilman is the same for Broxton, but they are different than Douglas.
Okay,
and
how
the
are
way,
they different?
I'm sorry. The way they're different is for the City of Douglas, it's broken up by wards, and the City of Broxton is not. It is citywide.
Okay.
So the city for Broxton, all they have to be is a resident and registered voter for 1 year prior, and they have to be registered within the City of Broxton.
Okay, and the mayor's seat the
The
same?
mayor is same.
Okay, now in Douglas, I know we have 1 mayor and 6 city commissioners. In Broxton, they have the mayor and how many commissioners?
5.
Five seats on that. Okay, so so the qualifications, you've told us about that, when it will be held, and the election dates again.
For the
Are
election,
both of them the same date,
Yes.
Broxton and Douglas?
they are November the 3rd.
November 3rd. That's the first Tuesday?
First Tuesday in November.
Okay, okay.
All general elections are.
And I know years ago we started having advanced voting.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. What are the dates that people can go?
October the 12th through October the 30th, and it begins on a Monday, and it starts at 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday only. Okay, that is so convenient for people who work.
Yes.
Well, you know, of course they work during the day, but those who may be out of town for business person or leisure travel and want to just go and vote and not have the hassle of going in the day on election day.
That's right. It's so convenient for the voters.
Okay. Now, what are the qualifications for voters to receive a voting card to go in to vote? For voting machines.
Okay, for a voting machine, they have to have a picture ID issued by the state of Georgia.
Okay.
So it has to be a government-issued ID.
Okay. Now, if someone wanted to vote absentee, absentee ballot, what are the steps they would have to take?
They can call our office, or they can send us an email, stop by and fill out an application, and they have to apply for an absentee ballot. And you can apply for an absentee ballot 180 days prior to an election.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they have plenty of time to get those.
There's about no excuse not to vote. Really.
You're right.
You're
Very right.
Now, what are the polling locations for the City of Douglas?
The only location that we have for the City of Douglas for Election Day is Central Square Gym.
Okay, and what about Broxton?
Broxton is going to be at the fire department in Broxton.
Okay, at the fire department, and their polling plate locations will open at 7 to 7?
7 to 7.
We know that by now. Okay, and you already said the voter needs to bring with them a picture ID. Anything else they need to bring with them as a backup to be prepared?
Just a picture ID that's issued by the government.
Now, what happens if someone gets to the poll and realizes they're not on the list to be able to vote? How do they challenge that?
They can challenge that in more than one way. If a voter declares that they are a registered voter and we do not have them on the system, they can be given a provisional ballot. And after that provisional ballot is voted, which is a paper ballot, just like an absentee ballot, it's voted there at the precinct. After they have voted that provisional ballot, they have 3 days, which is the Friday after the election, to prove to us that they registered to vote.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some do's and don'ts for those who are the candidates. And I don't know if it's too soon to talk about it, but I don't know if I get a chance to have you back before November's election, so I'll go ahead and ask you some of this now, if it's okay. What are some do's and don'ts for the candidates for being around the polling location on the day of election?
A candidate can go into the polling location once, and that is to vote only.
Okay.
Once they have voted, they have to leave the premises. They can stay within with outside of 150 feet of the building.
Okay. Yeah, because I know a lot of the candidates love to do last-minute campaigning
That's
before
right.
they see the voters go in. So
Yeah.
I guess they have designated areas. I know around Central Square Complex, you know, we have a public parking
Right.
area that we allow them to access, but in Broxton, I don't know how they do it.
They have to stay with outside of
Got it.
150 feet.
Gotcha.
So after that, we have no laws that we can garden on that. So they have to stay outside of the 150-foot mark.
Okay. Any do's and don'ts for voters, the non-candidates who are going in on Election Day?
Just
hanging
the
around the
electoral-
precincts.
You
Yeah.
have to vote, come in and vote, and then you have to get in your vehicle. And, you know, if you start communicate for a few minutes, that's fine, because we know how South Georgia is. And if
Right.
you see somebody you want to talk to, you're going to, you know, stop for a few minutes. But we do ask that, you know, just vote and then try to ease your way out of the parking lot,
Okay.
because it is going to be a heavy election. So
Okay.
our little parking lot will be packed.
Yes. Any other common myths that people have about elections or errors they make that you want to try to rectify today?
A lot of people just think that, you know, there's only two reasons that a voter can receive assistance at the TSX, as we call them, but the voting booths or the
Okay.
voting machines. And the only two reasons that a voter can receive assistance is they cannot read the English language and they have a physical disability.
Okay.
Those are the only two reasons.
Okay.
So, you know, a lot of people get mad with us when we ask that they can't assist somebody, but we're just doing our job, and, you know, that's what we're here for, and we want to help the public in having everything done right.
Okay, well, I know you have a good bit of workers in the precincts on Elections Day. Anything you want to say to people who may want to come and help, or I don't know if you hire them or they volunteer and come out on that day? And
Yeah, if they want to help, then please come by the elections office and see me and fill out an application. We'll always go through those, and we love to get good help.
Okay. And if you would, Misty, before you leave today, tell everyone where your office is located, especially so they know for the advance voting, and a way to contact you.
Okay. My name is Misty Hayes. I am the election supervisor for Coffee County. You can reach me at 912-384-7018 or come by the office at 224 West Ashley Street. You can also email me, and that's Misty Hayes, all lowercase, at coffeecountygov.com.
All right. Well, Misty, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We'll be back with more Douglas on My Mind right after this break. Thanks for watching. We're back from break, and joining me on the show now is Sandy Sharp, who is the Human Resources Manager at Southwire. Sandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
Good to have you here, and you're here to talk a little bit about Southwire today, but more so about a project that Southwire sponsors. It's called Project Gift. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. It stands for Giving Inspiration for Tomorrow.
Okay, and so how did this program get started?
Well, back in 2005, after Hurricane Katrina, we had a group of employees from our Carrollton facility that went and did a Christmas relief over in Waverly, Mississippi for the hurricane victims over there. And that's basically where it started.
So how is it that the program got started in this community? Did you use the model from after Hurricane Katrina as an example?
Well, yes, Carrollton, our corporate facility, had started the back-to-school giveaway after the hurricane event. And when we opened the facility, or Southwire bought the facility in 2010, we had our first back to school in July of that year. And so yes, we modeled it basically after what the corporate had done.
Was that based also on a need that you saw in the community to help supply the bags to area families?
Yes, we've been very much connected with the school systems and with the other community facilities around, and we see that there